Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Matt Cromer. In the military, it's vital to have a fighting spirit that will help you push through whatever situation you find yourself in. Catoosa Sergeant Jang Yoon Chan meets a soldier that showcases his warrior mentality on the mat.
In USAG Yongsan, fighters are getting in the zone in preparation for the 8th Army Combatives tournament. Although it was a last-minute call for Private First Class Keith Harding, he always stays in shape to literally fight tonight.
It was about 3 weeks when the email got sent out that we need people for a brigade tournament. So of course I was one of the first ones to sign up for it. And then we had a small team, so there was no brigade tournament, but we started practicing that day. So it's been a couple of weeks, and actually I had to take last week off for a CLS course. But I still feel like I'm going to do really well in this competition.
Already the best warrior for his brigade, Harding went the extra mile to extend his stay in Korea for 1 month to compete for the 8th Army's Best Warrior competition. According to him, his drive towards becoming better is not because he likes the taste of winning.
I hate losing more than I like winning, so that's sort of where my drive to win comes from. You know, like right now I'm just relaxed. A few minutes before my match, that's when I sort of start getting into my zone. And once I step on the mat, that's when it's game on. No one's going to outwork me today.
From 65th Man, PFC Harding.
I go first, it's going to be sort of timid, but let him get that first one. He got a solid one on my eye. That was sort of like a mood changer. At that point, I was like, okay, it's on now. He's hitting me, now I got to hit him back. It's my life for his.
Harding took first place as the new 2015 Cruiserweight Combatives champion. He's confident in prediction, works hard in preparation, but always humble in victory.
I work every day towards what goals I need to, short term, long term. Every day I'm going to push forward, trying to make my goals a reality.
Catoosa Sergeant Jang Yoon Chan, Yongsan, Korea.
This was PFC Harding's first Army Combatives tournament. For many years, there has always been one place service members can come to keep them looking sharp. Army Sergeant Frank Sanchez tells us about one person that is dedicated to keeping this tradition alive.
Seeing a candy-striped barber's pole spinning brings back memories of days gone by. But on Yongsan, there's one barber who takes great pride in her 25 years of service to the military community.
When service members come to our barbershop, then go on leave and come back, we talk about that all the time. Yongsan feels like my home, and the customers are like family.
Yu's happy-go-lucky outlook with her customers makes time fly, but it is bittersweet when she sees service members move on after their time at Yongsan is complete.
I've worked here for a long time. A lot of Catoosas get their hair cut here. I've seen many Catoosa privates become corporals, sergeants, and then they leave the Army. It feels good that they leave the Army, but on the other hand, it's sad that they're gone. The employees here care very much about our customers and our customer service.
Army Sergeant Frank Sanchez, Yongsan, Korea.
The Yongsan barbershops try to combine what is considered modern styling while keeping a classic approach in grooming. In the beginning of the Korean War, there were many hard-fought battles and lives lost across the many mountains of the Korean Peninsula. Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman joined soldiers who seek proper respect for their fallen brothers in arms on the battlefield.
Dabudong Mountain was one of the deadliest battlegrounds during the Korean War. Climbing up the steep slope is not easy, but the importance of the job at hand makes the steady climb one to remember.
Since 2012, I have participated in 4 remains excavations and have found 4 sets of remains. I could feel their pain and sorrow during the war when I found them. It was an honor for me to find them and give them due respect.
I feel it's important because back in the Korean War, obviously I wasn't alive, but I feel like soldiers that gave the ultimate sacrifice deserve the proper burials and deserve to be recognized for the ultimate sacrifice that they gave.
Working as a team, Republic of Korea and U.S. service members not only excavate remains in the mountain, but also have an opportunity to work together hand in hand.
I think it is meaningful to work with U.S. soldiers. During the Korean War, both U.S. soldiers and our grandfathers fought together, and now we are working together on the same mountain. I am honored to be part of this, and I'm pretty sure the ROK-U.S. alliance will get stronger through this event.
It was exciting because that means, we weren't out here digging for nothing, and We got to work alongside our Katusas in doing so, and it was a great opportunity.
Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman, Dabudong, Korea.
With all those lost in the battles on Dabudong Mountain, returning them home is meaningful for both sides. With drawdowns and cutbacks happening throughout the military, the Army needs to save every dollar it can. Army Sergeant Kelly Wiebe tells us of one instance of fiscal responsibility.
When traveling to Thailand to conduct training recently, a ship carrying equipment for the 25th Infantry Division took water, extensively damaging some of their Humvees. Instead of scrapping some water-damaged vehicles, Material Support Command Korea took on the job of restoring them to full operational capability.
Something that I thought was an impossible mission actually turned out pretty good. When I heard that these Humvees had been submerged in seawater, my initial thoughts were, there's no way we can repair these vehicles. But the vehicles came, they had time to dry during the transition, and so our mechanics took a look, and they did the very best they could. The employees here did an absolutely fantastic job.
Whether engine work, electronics, interior, or any other area of automotive repair, MSCK had no problem getting these trucks back in the fight.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, what we did was bring vehicles that were totally submerged underwater in seawater back to like new status, fully mission capable, and ready to go.
Army Sergeant Kelly Wiebe, Camp Carroll, Korea.
MSCK completed these restorations using almost 14,000 man-hours over the course of 18 days. Learning is sometimes more than just reciting facts. Senior Airman Robert Mason reports from Osan Middle School.
Osan Middle School is reaching beyond the classroom to help students get moving. Austin Sutton is a participant from the 8th grade.
Osan Olympics is a really nice day for us. You know, it gives us a time to relax, enjoy the day outside, to hang out with each other, getting to know that to play sports, you know, that we haven't played before.
Tyler Dixon, an English teacher at the school, believes in the possibilities of teamwork.
Okay, what we hope they'll learn is a sense of community, a sense of cooperation, how to work together as a team, how to like express their individual talents and abilities, but also to combine it in like a team effort, how to better succeed individually, but also as a team, and so the team can succeed.
Marissa Babbitt is the student body president who's just finished a rousing round of volleyball.
In a classroom, I don't think you can really learn sportsmanship and teamwork and stuff. Well, and if you're in a group working, but mostly sportsmanship. So hopefully they'll be learning about sportsmanship, like not yelling at each other for little mistakes.
Celeste White, a science teacher, is also one of the organizers.
We depend so much on the community, and they're always so supportive. We had several units volunteer people, and volunteers enjoyed competing with the kids in their tug of war. And the kids won. Kids who won tug of war, they did. So that made them happy.
And when the students enjoy themselves, that's when they learn the most.
I actually enjoyed today. I really enjoyed today. I hope we can have this like every day.
Senior Airman Robert Mason, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Osan Middle School Olympics help students develop a sense of community through physical fitness and teamwork. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, May 14th. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
Each year in May, we highlight the Asian American Pacific Islanders that have fought at our side for numerous years. The United States military has become a diverse group of individuals with many different cultural backgrounds. Take time to appreciate the customs and cultures that define these military members. Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, many cultures, one voice.